This is the After Party, live with Kim McAllister. Pick a couch, grab a drink, and settle into the conversation.
Hey everybody, it is the After Party Live on a Waterfall Wednesday, and I'm very excited to tell you that Gordon sent me a waterfall from Vietnam. It's a video of a waterfall, so we'll take a look at that in a little while. I'm so glad you guys decided to join today. Hello to everybody, and thank you for being here. And the first story I wanted to get to today is a story about Wilt Chamberlain. Well, the story's more about a Wilt Chamberlain jacket, and you will not believe where this thing was found. So let's get right to it. Here is what it looks like. Here's, of course, Wilt Chamberlain, and there is his famous, I would say now famous jacket. The jacket was found at a thrift store. No joke. Crazy. It was bought for $3.07 at a thrift store. This is short-sleeved, yellow warm-up jacket that Wilt Chamberlain wore during the 1972 NBA Finals, in which the Los Angeles Lakers beat the New York Knicks. Found at this thrift store in Oregon. Crazy. A teenager found it and bought it. I don't know how you would know that this is the exact jacket, but the teenager's name is Quinn Brown. And apparently Quinn had been looking in this massive bin of clothes at a Goodwill outside of Portland, Oregon in January, and saw someone toss a Lakers jacket with Chamberlain's name on the back into the pile. And Quinn is a clothing reseller, quickly snapped it up. The jacket, purchased again for $3.07, was just auctioned at Sotheby's. They had estimated its value at between $150,000 and $250,000. 48 bids came in, and this thing sold for $89,600. Not a bad profit. Not a bad day's work. Yeah. Wild. He said, Quinn, I didn't think that finding something like this was even possible. He said, I got very, very, very lucky. Quinn has been reselling clothes online after finding them at thrift stores for the last 3 years. It says previously to this, the most expensive item that he had sold was a t-shirt of some kind of Sub Pop record, which is an indie label that signed Nirvana in 1989, and that went for $250. So this is quite a jump above that. After he bought that Wilt Chamberlain jacket, he searched online to see if it was worth something, found this picture on Google of Chamberlain wearing the jacket, compared it to the one that he had. He examined the Lakers patch on the front, noticed a certain small stitching detail that matched the photo, looked up the measurements of a different jersey worn by Chamberlain, who was huge. He was 7'1", and discovered that they nearly aligned. He said, I just really wanted to make sure because it was so hard to believe at the time. He said he posted a photo of the jacket on social media, and that is when Sotheby's contacted him about consigning the jacket to the auction house. So he agreed. They sent an armored van to come pick this thing up. Then they did their own photo verification on it at Sotheby's, and they determined the jacket was worn by Chamberlain during the 1972 finals. That is a game, by the way, a series in which he was named the finals MVP. The photo matching for a piece of game-worn clothing to a specific finals series for a player of this era, they say, is genuinely exceptional. Photo-matched items worn by Chamberlain become exceedingly rare, and this jacket then becomes a piece of sports history. There was another Wilt Chamberlain item of clothing. It was a game jersey that he wore during the same series, and it was sold for $4.9 million at Sotheby's in 2023. Fourth most expensive NBA jersey ever sold by that auction house. As for Quinn and his find, he says, it's as good as it gets. Imagine, spend $3, make 89,000. Wow. That's amazing. I have some animal stories as well, but before I get to them, I saw this pop through. Look at you, Glenn. Thank you for trying to inspire the contributions to the show. Best wishes to my Tapple friends. Best wishes to you, Glen B. You're such a source of light and joy. Thank you for the 2 Australian dollars. Never gets old to get Australian dollars, so thank you for that. I appreciate it. Really, really nice. Who cares? Who cares a Laker? Go for him. I'm a Warriors Curry fan. Yeah, me too. Isn't Steph Curry amazing? Just, I'm not really much of a sports fan, but there are some times when you see something magic and someone kind of just rise to the top level of their game and they're just so incredible to watch. That's Steph Curry for me. He's really, really good, obviously, right? Yeah, Glenn is a saint. We love him. Thanks, Maud. All right, we'll move to some animal stories. Look at this big chunky monkey. This big chunker. It's a goldfish. The problem is goldfish aren't supposed to be like that. And so the province of Alberta, it's a province, right? Yeah, government of Alberta, Canada, this province. They're saying, stop that. Stop letting your goldfish that you don't want anymore loose into the waterways in the province. They have this new campaign called Don't Let It Loose. They had to put this campaign together after more than 100 incidents of goldfish, which are invasive, being found in Alberta waterways. Alberta's invasive species specialist saying this isn't because people are flushing them down the toilet and they're making their way to the waterways. People are intentionally dumping them into the waterways and they are overwintering and they are thriving and they are finding ways to reproduce. And they get massive. So this Don't Let It Loose campaign reminds residents in Alberta releasing invasive species, including goldfish, into waterways carries a fine of 70,900 Canadian dollars. And also, if that wasn't enough to dissuade you, up to a year in prison as well. She says never release anything into the water that didn't come from it. People might think they're just dumping goldfish, but actually, they might be introducing snails, fish disease, plant fragments that can also take over a water body in Alberta. So don't throw your fish in the pond. Yikes, that's a big one. I saw this story too. This one out of Florida, where there is a new warning. This story comes from the Palm Beach Post, but I think it's all over the place at this point. Mount Dora, Florida, they're issuing an advisory after multiple reports of wild monkeys have been spotted throughout the city. Where did they come from? We don't know. But now there's an advisory warning residents in Mount Dora, Florida, to keep a distance away from these wild animals. They issued the warning on July 20th, advising wild monkeys could carry diseases. They could become aggressive. They've been known to bite or scratch if they feel threatened or if they're attracted to food and they want it. And they say, listen, we realize seeing a monkey here is really unusual, but please remember that these monkeys are wild, feral animals, and they should be admired from a safe distance. If you encounter a monkey in Mount Dora, Florida, please give it plenty of space and allow it to move through the area on its own. Last month, monkeys were spotted outside the historic Mount Dora Lakeside Inn. You can see there, they were playing on the oak trees. They say don't feed the monkeys either. Feeding wild non-human primates is prohibited under Florida law. It can result in penalties. Don't approach it, don't touch it, don't attempt to capture it. Keep your children away, keep your pets away. No, thank you. Mount Dora is about 30 miles northwest of Orlando. It is believed that these monkeys migrated to Mount Dora from Silver Springs State Park. And now they're in the city. No. It sounds like you've got to get them out of the city. I don't think that's going to work. Yeah, I have one more animal story for you. And this is about a bear. Look at him in there. He ends up in this person's car in an SUV. And I guess can't get out. There were residents in a Colorado neighborhood who were really annoyed because they thought there was a rude neighbor who was honking the horn in their car all night long. But everybody woke up to discover that it was a bear trapped inside an SUV that was honking. Happened in Gold Hill, Colorado. Early Sunday morning, residents went to investigate the source of all the honking and the ruckus. Yeah, took video of it. The video shows this bear in the front seat of this SUV leaning on the horn. They tried to get him out. This man used a long rope to open one of the vehicle's doors from a distance because you don't want to be on the other side of that door, right? And that finally allowed the bear to get out of the SUV and to climb away. The bear caused some damage to the side panel of the car and did set off the driver's side airbag as well. But I think the bear's all right. Just a frustrating night for neighbors and for the bear as this animal was trapped inside the car, which is interesting because you would think if it got in, it could get out, right? When it wanted to. Apparently not. He was telling everyone, he was honking, listen, I need some help. I have this story about the Louvre. God, it's so beautiful in there. Look at that. They have reopened now the Apollo Gallery. This is the place where the big heist happens. But now, with the reopening, no jewels on display this time. Nope. All of the jewels, the precious jewels that were once displayed in this gallery, are now removed. And the gallery, according to the Louvre spokespeople, is returning to its 17th century original ceremonial purpose. You can now go into the Apollo Gallery, but you won't see the sparkly gems. The Apollo Gallery reopening to the public for the first time since last year's theft, where $102 million worth of crown jewels were ripped off in this daytime heist. Remember, they dropped one of the royal jewels on the way out. Now you can go and check out this gilded ceilings, the Greek frescoes. This, by the way, the Apollo Gallery is right on the way to the Mona Lisa nearby. They say the collections and precious jewels once displayed there are all removed. The stolen jewels remain uncovered 9 months after this theft. They say the former exhibits will be relocated elsewhere in the museum, probably not so close to a window where you can put a ladder up and climb in and grab them. Maybe, I don't know. But they do say, because of all this, it's an opportunity to rediscover the splendid architecture and decor of this gallery. Yeah, I don't know. Previous director of the Louvre resigned after the crown jewel heist and some other failures, including the state of the building, led to a lack of confidence in leadership. Yeah. They called the heist, I don't know if you want to call it a trauma for the entire world, but that's what the French culture minister said. It was a trauma for the entire world, which for several days expressed its shock and sadness in every language. It was a trauma for us, discovering the fragility of a place we thought unshakable and which, like so many others, proved vulnerable. I don't know if it was a trauma for the world. I mean, definitely you want those things preserved and put on display. I think we've got a lot more trauma to worry about, right? They have better security now, though, at the museum. New surveillance cameras, new anti-intrusion systems. But when those things were ripped off, it took less than 8 minutes for thieves to force their way through that window into the gallery and steal the crown jewels, and off they go. Off they went. So, the security improvements said to be a priority. They launched it last year. Cost $933 million to modernize the infrastructure, ease up the crowding, and then they are going to give the Mona Lisa a dedicated gallery by the year 2031 as well. So big changes at the Louvre, and no more crown jewels in the Apollo Gallery. Nope. This story, which I find fascinating, about sperm whales. Sperm whales change the way they communicate when ships are nearby. Which, I mean, Do you change the way you communicate when you know other people are listening? You talk to maybe your family one way, but then if you get on the phone, you put on your polite voice. Do you have different voices that you use or different levels of, socially acceptable behavior? I don't know. I don't know. Maybe that's what the sperm whales are doing. Changing the way they communicate when ships are nearby. The time between their clicks becomes shorter. They change how they use certain vowel sounds. The findings adding another piece to this puzzle of translating the language of sperm whales. And according to Popular Science and the newly published article today in the journal Ecological Informatics, for the past 6 years, Project SETI, Cetacean Translation Initiative, has been listening in on the chit-chat of sperm whales in the Eastern Caribbean off the coast of the island of Dominican Republic. So the researchers have used robotics and machine learning methods to study and attempt to translate what these whales are saying. They said we're beginning with an unknown communication system, almost like some kind of alien. In the first few years, it was about understanding the fundamental units of what sperm whales are using to communicate. Now they say they're beginning to make language models that are able to predict dive behavior by their voices and understand more about their alphabet. They used acoustic recordings of sperm whales near Dominica, looking at vocalizations called codas, or the structured click sequences that these whales use to communicate. They also say these sperm whales use sounds that resemble vowels, called an A vowel and an I vowel. They analyzed more than 1,000 codas collected from acoustic tags attached to 15 individual whales over 4 years. They said when vessels or ships are present, the whale's codas change. The codas are shorter. They'll increase certain vowels, particularly the A vowels. One thing they said, the codas are going to be really close together. We call it the interclick interval. So the spacing between each click becomes really compressed, and they measure their use of a certain vowel. So they'll be using more of the encoded vowels. The vowels become harder for them to the researchers to distinguish, and they kind of look like spaghetti on the audio recording. Very similar to humans talking in a crowded, noisy nightclub or bar. The conversation, they say, likely wouldn't be whispered. The noise may make it so you have to ask the same question 3 times. The conversation may be more focused on getting another drink, hitting the dance floor, leaving. They also said, the researchers, that the presence of ships in the area can be predicted by changes in sperm whales' codas, and that the codas themselves can indicate that a vessel is present or it's nearby. I mean, I don't speak sperm whale, but I think it's a warning, because we know they're smart and we know they get killed by ship strikes. I think they've started to realize when they hear a ship nearby, warn each other. I don't know. Maybe that's what's going on. Not sure. What the researchers do say is the study is the first to show that whales shift how they use these vowels in response to their environment when the shipping noise is present. Project SETI's linguistic lead at UC Berkeley said this may be a glimpse that these complex features of sperm whale codas potentially convey information about what's happening in the world around them. Absolutely. There's more, but I just found that was interesting. That their conversation and the way they speak changes when people are present. A story about this nutcracker. He's a biggin. As a matter of fact, he's the world's biggest. Might be the world's biggest. 65 feet tall. This nutcracker lives in Minnesota. The city that is home to Vern the Patriot is trying to get the Guinness World Record folks to recognize their newest landmark, Vern the Patriot, as the biggest nutcracker in the world. It was recently installed near the edge of Luverne, Minnesota, and opened to the public in a big ribbon cutting ceremony on Saturday. The artist is Katie Walgrave. It's part of the town's Nutcracker themed tourism campaign. They've been doing this since 2017. Inspired by a local resident. Her name was Betty, and Betty is 96. And she became famous, at least locally, for her collection of more than 7,554 nutcrackers. So now they're making it a citywide thing. And man was present when they did the ribbon cutting ceremony for Vern on Saturday. She said, "Right now I'm crying. I have tears in my eyes because I'm overwhelmed." The current Guinness World Record for the largest nutcracker is it from Germany, and it's 33 feet 1 inches tall. And that record was set in 2008. So the city of Luverne is hoping the 65-foot tall Vern statue will capture that title. They say, we know he's the tallest because he's almost twice as tall as the current world record holder. So give it to Vern. 65-footer. He's very American, Vern. There it is. All right. It's time for Waterfall Wednesday. And I got a great submission from Gordon. Gordon sent me this waterfall from Vietnam, and I did a little looking because he just said it's a waterfall in Vietnam. And I'm thinking, what waterfall is that in Vietnam? It turns out this is in the Lai Chau province. It's called the Love Waterfall. And thank you, Gordon, for sending this amazing video of this beautiful waterfall. So I'm going to zoom in close and let's check it out. I mean, it's pretty beautiful. Got it from all different angles. Absolutely gorgeous. I think it's so loud that it's just zapping. The sound is zapping out. Yeah, I can't hear the sound. Maybe there's music it doesn't want to play. But there's this video. So thank you to Gordon. A little more about the Love Waterfall. It's very close to another waterfall called the Silver Waterfall. They're very close together. The Love Waterfall, easy to access, about a 5-minute walk, about a 30-minute walk each way from a parking lot. And it's a very nice river. You start to follow the river. The waterfall worth the walk, as is the fresh mountain water. They say if you've made it to the Love Falls, it's worth stopping at Silver Falls. You can't see it from the road. You've got to pay to get in to both the Love Falls and the Silver Falls, but it's only like 85 cents US to get in. So beautiful. Look at that. Thanks, Gordon, for that beautiful video. Just a short little Waterfall Wednesday from Gordon. To relax, take a deep breath. Look at the mist coming off the mountain. The Love Waterfall in the Lai Chau province of Vietnam. Really, really pretty. Thank you for the submission. I love it when I get messages about, oh, this story's good and this story's good. I got a bunch of them yesterday, and I'll put those stories into the show tomorrow. Huge thank you to Gordon for sending me this video. If you have any submissions, maybe you want to go somewhere for Travel Tuesday. Perhaps you found a great cave we should check out, or you want to send me pictures of a cave that you saw, and you inside of a cave, or you at a waterfall. Please do. You'll find me at kim@theafterparty.live, kim@theafterparty.live, and I would love to show this because this is really a group effort, and I love to put up your ideas as well. Tomorrow on the Mark Thompson Show, Mo Kelly returns, thank goodness, and David Katz will be on the show, former federal prosecutor, so we'll be talking about legal stories, and of course, we've got the Trivia Thursday on the After Party Live, and then the Nikki Maduro Show tomorrow night, which is being rebranded, and I think you're going to like it. So I really hope that that you'll join us for all three. Well, pick a couple of, if you need to. You always find these shows, the recorded version of these shows, available after the fact. So, yeah, I hope you will partake thank you to everyone who contributes to this show. I saw the 2 Australian coming through from Glenn earlier. Really appreciate that. And now I see this from Wes in Florida, who says the rhesus monkeys at Silver Springs are invasive after 6 released by Colonel Toohey for jungle tours in the 1930s swam from an island to the mainland. Is that what happened? And now they're all over the place in that town. Thanks, Wes, for the information and for the 5. I love having Wes in Florida. Thank you so much. I appreciate the details on that one. And thank you to everyone also, not only for the super chats and super stickers needed to keep this show alive, but for contributing to the show PayPal as well, which is really the bread and butter of the show. Wes not only just contributed there, but also today kicked into the PayPal as well. Holy wow. Thank you, Wes. Vicky S. set up a recurring monthly PayPal contribution. Alicia P., Amy P., Meredith D., the most recent contributors to the show. Huge, huge thank you. Please click the like button and subscribe if you haven't already. And I didn't say it yet, but I did want to mention that it's Lee of Lee and Eileen's birthday. We know them as Lee and Eileen, right? And so Lee gets a little Jacob love.
You requested a happy birthday song, so I'm gonna give you one. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday, Lee. Thank you for being part of this show. I have to go take my daughter to senior pictures. Thus it begins. And now there's this new thing where not only do you, today we're going to get the, they do the traditional black drape. I'm trying to get her to wear a strand of pearls. I don't know if she's going to do it. But today is the traditional yearbook photo. And then there's like this new thing. And they didn't do this when I was in school. Back when I was in school, we didn't have to pay $1,000 to get a series of senior pictures taken, like that won't even go in the yearbook. I don't know when this began, but now this whole senior year of let's make it as costly as possible has begun. So today we're doing the drape. We have to drive to Sebastopol to wear the black drape and get the picture taken. And I'm just probably going to cry because I don't think I'm ready for her to be a senior and for her to have one foot out the door. I'm telling you. All right, everyone, make it the very best rest of your Wednesday that you can. And I'll see you right back here on YouTube tomorrow. Bye, everybody.
The After Party Live would like to thank the following contributors and viewers like you.
Oh, did I misspeak? Oh no, did I say Mo is doing the After Party Live? That'd be fun to have him on this show, wouldn't it? My bad. I'm sorry for misspeaking. I'd like to apologize to the After Party Live community. Who knows what's going to come out of my mouth? Absolutely. Sorry I didn't get to do it on the real day. You can do that? You mean you don't have to jump through all the senior hoops? I should have talked to you first. Thanks again, Gordon.